Evan, it's Mrs. Ulickney here. We are starting on page 170 today, so I hope you have your math workbook ready to go because we are on page 170, and I hope you have your pencil ready to go. On Friday, we left off with this problem. There are 6 children. There are 4 hats. Are there more hats or children? How many children do not get a hat? Remember, we talked about this on Friday and we drew a picture. There are 6 children. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there are 4 hats. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we answered the question, are there more hats or more children? Evan, what's the answer? Are there more hats or more children? There are more children. And then our second question was, how many children do not get a hat? So how many children here, Ev, do not have a hat? Remember, we said 2 children do not have a hat. So let's look at our model it. So here's another way to solve this problem. It says find 6 minus 4. Evan, what does the 6 stand for? It stands for the 6 total children. And what does the 4 stand for? That stands for the 4 hats. So if we look here, we can match 4 hats. So here are our hats. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can match 4 hats with 4 children. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 and how many more make 6? So if we take 6 children, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and take away 4, how many do we have left? 2. And if we would count on, Evan, what comes after 4? 5, 6. How many humps are there? 1, 2. So if we count on 2 more times, it would take us from 4 to 6. So we know that, Evan, are there more children or more hats? Yes, there are more children. And then how many children do not get a hat? So how many children here, Evan, do not have a hat? 2. Very good. Okay, I hope you have this. Let's move on to page 171. And let's look at the connect it. Okay, we're not going to worry about number 1 or number 2. We're going to move right ahead to the apply it problems. So on page 171, it says, number 3, there are 8 books. There are 5 children. How many more books are there? So, Evan, let's look at our picture. How many books are there, Evan? Right, there are 8 books. I'm going to assume that the squares are the books because books are the shape of a square. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 books. And Evan, how many children are there? Right, there are 5 children. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what are we trying to find out? How many more books are there? We can tell there are more books than children. So let's subtract to compare how many more books there are. Do you remember what the word compare means, Evan? It means looking at 2 numbers and finding out which number is more and less. So we know that 8 stands for the number of books. There are 8 books. What are we going to subtract or take away, Ev? The number of children, and there are 5 children. So 8 minus 5, what would that equal? So if we have 8 here and we take away 5, what do we have left? How many? 1, 2, 3. So 8 minus 5 equals 3. So how many more books are there? There are 3 more books. And if we count on from 5 to 8, watch. 1, 2, 3. If we count on 3 times, that would also take us to 8. Okay, and let's look at page 172, the last page that we'll do today. Number 4 says, there are 9 frogs. There are 5 lily pads. How many more frogs are there? So, Evan, how many frogs are there? There are 9 frogs. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And Evan, how many lily pads are there? There are 5 lily pads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Evan, what are we trying to find out? Yep, how many more frogs there are than lily pads. So let's look. We are starting with 9. What does the 9 stand for? Right, the 9 frogs. Evan, what are we going to subtract or take away? The number of lily pads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 9 minus 5 equals what number? So if we take 5 away from 9, how many do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 9 minus 5 equals 4. So how many more frogs are there? There are 4 more frogs. And if we would count on from 5 to 9, look what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. We would count on 4 times. And let's look at number 5. It says, there are 3 fish. There are 6 fish bowls. How many more fish bowls are there? So, Evan, how many fish are there? Yep, there are 3 fish. And then look here, 1, 2, and 3. And Evan, how many fish bowls are there? There are 6 fish bowls. Let's count our fish bowls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. What are we trying to find out? Yep, how many more fish bowls are there? So, Evan, how could we subtract to find out how many more fish bowls there are? What should we start with? Remember, when we subtract, we always start with the biggest number. So how many fish bowls are there? Right, there are 6 fish bowls. And then how many fish are there? 3. So if we took 3 away from 6, how many would I have left? 1, 2, 3. So 6 minus 3 equals 3. So how many more fish bowls are there than fish? 3. Okay, I hope you wrote everything down with me. Don't forget to bring this back to school with you on Wednesday. Good job, buddy.